That's what we're at right now as fans. Like, I am at the point where I'm like, okay, it's within reach. Training camp is within reach, but there's nothing really near forward or back when it comes to football. The only thing we can talk about is speculative stories, just like Phil Simms coming out and saying that he thinks the NFL players would gladly accept an 18-game schedule this upcoming year, which is an interesting statement to make as a guy who's been out of the league for 45 years. I think Phil Simms does good on TV. I think all that stuff, but I think he's very off here. I've always said this when it comes to the number of games thing for the NFL, which is always going to be a topic of discussion because there's so much money on the line, both TV-wise, stadium revenue. You're talking about everything. There is so much money on the line for adding games because you're adding a concert. You're adding a whole nother concert for the band to perform at. And it's not just a concert that's live in person in front of 70,000 people, sold out, guaranteed for sure. It's also being streamed to millions of people paying millions of dollars for this whole thing. I mean, it is a massive financial decision to add a game or lose a game. I've always said this, let's meet in the middle. Let's make it 17 games. Let's add a bye week. So it is officially 19 weeks. So it's 2 bye weeks, 17 games. Get rid of a preseason game or 2 so that you have like 2 real preseason games. That third preseason game, treat it like it's the AAFL, treat it like it's the XFL. It's just tryout guys, bubble guys anyways. Give them that game, but make sure fans know that this is going to be basically a fucking scrimmage between players that aren't going to make this team or special teamers. Add a bye week, have 17 games, and let's just fucking keep it moving going forward. Let's in proportion add to the salary of everybody, so you literally take no money out of anybody's pocket for another performance, pay them for the bye week as well, and just keep it moving. Then we add an extra game. It's not 18, which is what the NFL wants. It doesn't stay at 16, which is what the players want, but it's a nice win-win for everybody. As fans, we get an extra game. We get an extra week of football, 2 extra weeks of football. We get an extra opportunity to watch our team blow it. Or win it. And I think it makes everything much different whenever it comes to when people start trying or not trying and drafting and all that shit. Might change the game of football a bit too if you're adding extra weeks because people can't run as well at the end of the season. So it might be changing rules, might be doing a lot of things, but it's a lot more money to be made, and I think it's the right move.
I offered you this position. You can take DeMaurice Smith's position or Goodell's. Which way are you going right now? Pat, you're handpicked. You're going to succeed one of these two.
Goodell.
You'll do Goodell?
I'd rather be Goodell than DeMaurice Smith, mostly because of this. At the end, Goodell is the one that's in charge. I think there should be somebody much better than DeMaurice Smith, but if you're giving me the head of the NFL Players Association or the head of the NFL, one gets paid $40 million a year, one gets paid like $5 million a year, which is still outlandish that happens. But I would much rather be Goodell. But I wouldn't.
You couldn't though. I mean, because you'd have the player mentality and taking care of your boys, and the Billionaire Boys Club is like, hey, we need some more hay in the barn.
Yeah, but bro, I honestly think it's a business, man, and for a business, like, hey. Sometimes you got to scratch somebody else's back. Too far, it's been like, we're at odds. Like, everything's a war. Like, oh, you want to up the THC level? Okay, well, we're going to need to have Roger Goodell make every single decision without any conversation. It's like, well, is that really what we have to do? Can we not just do this and then do this? Have a little good faith in each other that we need each other here. We're all making too much money. Let's just keep it moving forward. The league's the best league on earth. Nobody's going to leave us. Our diehard fans, no matter what happens, they're going to watch. People are going to buy merch. The game is going to hold up for itself no matter what. Let's just get into a good business relationship here so that everybody's happy. Everybody's moving forward. Yes, some people are going to get fucked. Some people are going to get overpaid. But in the end, if we're doing business together, I think that's how it should be. Honestly, I think that's how it should be. And I've said that on numerous occasions in NFLPA meetings. Like, hey, do we ever just do business? Like, it feels like everything you guys are talking about
actually
is like,
negotiate.
Like, we're going to war. It's like, do you tell them that? Like, when we're going in to meet with them? Because if I'm going in to meet with Zito about Zito's contract, and Zito literally is telling everybody before coming into me, like, I'm about to go to war with Pat. Like, how the fuck do you think I'm going to act? Start. Everything is just like, oh, are we keeping score here? Is this war? Because if that's the case, I am going to beat you. That is just the way it goes. And I think that has been lost over the last decade or so, probably because there's so much money on the line and there's a lot of greed that gets involved. But man, it would be cool to be able to have the NFL and the NFLPA be able to like actually chat. Like, hey man, like weed is not that big of a deal. It's a lot better than the painkillers that we've been getting. Can we just take that off and let's figure out something we can give you on the backside? Maybe another hour of practice, like in off season. Like let's figure something out here so we can make a deal, or you can just give it up to us. By the way, good faith, just being good people, and let's just move forward. It's just that has seemed to be lost because didn't Roger Goodell put a number that he wanted to make? He put a number on. He said, like, I want to make this amount of money, like a bottom line. He said, I want to make this for you guys. And that has kind of shaped every decision he's made. Like, everything is for the dollar. Everything is for the dollar. Mm-hmm. This is all for the money.
See, if I was the union, I think I'd push harder for...
Players Association.
Players Association, excuse me. I would push harder for the guaranteed money. And I would say, we'll play your 18 games, but you guarantee every single contract these guys sign.
18 games will not happen. 18 games will not happen. 17 with another bye week, I think, is very.
But would you do it if it was if every contract was guaranteed?
I just don't think guys' bodies would be able to. Like, I think it's just a far-fetched conversation. Just because whenever you get the playoffs, anyways, guys are running on fucking
fumes.
Busted everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Just nothing left.
I just don't think it's I don't think it's good for the game either. I don't think it's good for the product of football, which is what you should really care about in the end anyways. If you're really worrying about business, you should worry about the quality of the product on the field. I don't think 18 will ever happen. 17 with another bye week, though, seems like the perfect answer, and I honestly hope that that's what it ends up being. Everybody get more money. Everybody gets more money. Everybody gets more money, get another bye week, too. I mean, it's just like, it's a really cool, I think that would be a good setup.
As a fan, we're cool with 2 bye weeks, too. I love a good bye week because then you get to watch every other game and don't have to worry about your own team and what's going on with that day. I love the fucking
Mathematically, though, how do you give each team 2 bye weeks by just adding one more week to the schedule?
No, you had 2 weeks. You add another game, but it's another bye week as well. So it would be a 19-week season.
Oh, but you would play 17 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they would have to. Obviously, there would be those schedule makers are insane too.
Oh yeah.
Right.
My last year as a Colt, my last year in the league, we went to training camp early because we were in the Hall of Fame game. We were in London. We played on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and something else. It was the worst fucking. It was the worst schedule. Looking at it, I was just going for it. I'm like, oh, we're literally every single holiday, which is awesome, by the way. That means prime time. We got to travel to London, and we got an extra 10 days of training camp. This is awesome. Can't wait. Let's fucking go to work.
Speaking of training camp, so I was looking at the schedule for training camps this year. There's teams like starting like middle of July. Like, when did that fucking start?
Don't you always get extra time if you have a new rookie head coach? If you have a rookie head coach, you get extra time, both the OTAs and the training camp.
July is always. I feel like that's early.
In my head too, by the way, the rookies get an extra week too.
Yeah,
you get an extra week with the rookies before the vets get there. I don't know how much longer you want them there. I mean, this is very much a player's view, but I mean, how long do you want me staying at Anderson University? Is that going to make me a better football player? I do enjoy, and I've come around on this. I was very against it there for a while when I saw a bunch of other teams. They were having their training camps at home and people were sleeping at their houses and shit. There is something to be said about going to a place, the camaraderie that gets built up whenever you're away from your family, you're away from your kids, you're away from everything. You're just in it together and you're living in these shitty ass dorms and you're going to public bathrooms and you're eating the same food every day and you're doing this and you're doing that and you're working out together. There is something to be said about forming a bond that can't be formed in the comforts of your own home. So I don't mind it that much, the whole travel and get away thing. I was very against it until an older teammate of mine who had like 4 kids was like, I love it. He's like, man, I get 3 weeks away from my kids and I get to sleep. I get to hang out with the boys every night. I get to.
I was going to say, you could do 2 weeks. You could do 2 weeks and then go back.
Well, it's one of those buzzwords, right? You eliminate quote unquote distractions. You have everyone focused.
Yeah, but what about all the methods outside looking for autographs? Aren't they a distraction?
That was tough living in Anderson. That's what I'm laughing at, dude. I went up to your room there one time. I'm like, man, I am jetting home right after this, going to my California Kings. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I got this fucking little tiny little queen bed. I got a chance to move up the ladder pretty quickly, though, when they cut everybody. So when they cut everybody, Peyton Manning to be included in that list of people that were cut, I got moved down the dorm So like the higher up you are, the younger you are. So like in the attic, basically, you're the rookie. It's like this terrible fucking dorm. I was never up there because my rookie year we were in Terre Haute, a different place. It was pretty nice, but boy, it was tough. Then like you kind of move down, and like the second floor is like the younger vets though, like 3 years, 4 years in, and then they just cut everybody on the team. So all of a sudden, I became a guy that had a lot of years there. So I know that there was a discussion like we have to put Pat on the bottom floor. Like we don't want to, but we have to. They gave me the room right outside of the living room area, like the congregate area. The loudest room for sure. I absolutely loved it. It was just like it was almost like it was an extension of the lobby was my room. I had a recliner in there, I had a fucking TV in there. People would just come in, hang out. I had a blast with it. All the OGs are
Probably why they put you there.
They're in the basement. The OGs are in the basement though. They got like fucking suites down there. Like
we did that tour Pat McAfee's dorm room. Remember that thing where I knock and you're like, hello.
Yeah, here's my bed. And,
here's a fridge. Here's a chair.
And that's Anderson University.